Hey YouTube, kind of bear with me. For some odd reason, I've caught this little chest cold that's somewhat bothering me. So I'm going to try to record this without coughing and barking all over the place. But first and foremost, it's your girl Diana. I'm coming at y'all today with the topic of discussion talking about abuse. Something that we really need to talk about, whether you be a woman or a man that's going through any types of abuse, whether it be physical, spiritual, verbal, mental, emotional, all forms of abuse are bad. I just want to know that you're not alone, you know, and the person, me as myself, coming to y'all, I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you about it because you're looking at a woman who has dealt with being abused in a relationship for years. And it's not good. It's not good. And so the reason I'm making this video today is because I feel like I would address this situation and address this issue because a lot of people don't understand some things about what it means when you have been abused or you are an abuser. Either way it goes, it's nothing good comes out of it. So basically what I want to talk about, if you are being abused, whether if any one of those categories, physical, spiritually, mentally, emotional, physical, it doesn't matter. It's something that you need to get help for, something that you need to probably come out of or get, deal with it some type of way. Let me speak from a person who has been abused. I, for myself, have been in almost all of those categories. I've been physically abused, emotionally abused, sexually abused, emotionally abused, verbally abused. I have been in all of those categories, and let me tell you, it does not feel good. What it does to you, it lowers your self-esteem. It makes you feel like you're not worth anything. It feels like it's something you just have to put up with, something you have to deal with. But I'm here to tell you, nobody came in and told me, no, you don't have to put up with it. You know, when I was a little girl, I seen my mother go through abuse for quite some time. And I said I would never allow a man to hit me or to treat me in that way. Well, you know how they say never. Well, the very thing I said I would not allow to happen is the very thing that happened to me. I was abused from a child on up until an adult. I went through sexual abuse as a child. I went through verbal abuse in relationships. I went through physical abuse in relationships. And let me tell you something about it, because, a lot of people say, well, I don't know why she's staying in that relationship. I don't know why she allowing him to do this. Let me tell you this. It is not easy for an abused person to come out of such a relationship. No matter how bad you desire or want to come out that relationship, it is just not that easy. For one, and it may sound crazy to you, but you genuinely love this person. You love your abuser. And the reason I say that you love your abuser, because when you first met that person and you fell in love with that person, you may not have seen this abusive side come out of this person. Whether you're being the abused or the abuser, you never know what's in the inside of you. Well, I can tell my story. People would say, well, why you go back to him? Because I loved him. I loved him. I didn't love what he was doing to me, but I was drawn to him. And I felt like we was just connected. It was going to get better. He wasn't going to do it again. Many of you know if you've been in an abuse relationship, the first thing they want to say is, I'm sorry, baby. Want to make good love to you. And then, it's supposed to be okay. But let me tell you, when you've been abused, it stays in your mind. It does not just go away. You think about it and you're walking on eggshells all the time because you do not want to set that person off again. You do not want that person to hit you, cuss you out, call you out your name, or whatever the case may be. My abuser has so much control over me that when he said iron his clothes, honey, them clothes, excuse me, those clothes better have been ironed. And when they had to be ironed, they had to be ironed. And they have to be ironed so that he could go out and do what he wanted to do. Oh, but I was so in love with him. And I thought, maybe one day he would change. But let me tell you something, women or men who are being abused. A person will not change unless they want to change. And sometimes they have to get help. But you are not obligated to stay in that relationship. But it's not that easy to come right out of that relationship. I know. I've been there and done that. Excuse me, y'all. Tell you I have a little cough, so excuse me. But it's not that easy. And so when you tell a person, why you staying with that person, I understand why she's staying with him, or I understand why he's staying with her. I just told you why. It's because some people genuinely love the person that they're with. Not necessarily saying they love the abuse, but they love the person and they're believing for a change. So, okay, we talked about that subject. So now we want to talk about the abuser. Some abusers have been raised up in troubled homes, have been raised up in a home where they've seen abuse, where they witness abuse, and they think it's okay. I say that because my son and my daughter saw me get abused, and my son grew up thinking, first he thought when it was beginning to happen to me, my son he was like, Mom, why you make him mad? You made him hit you. My son thought that I made him do this. And so when my son became a man, guess what he did? He became an abuser just like my ex-husband. He began to beat on women. And it wasn't cool. But he thought it was okay because let me tell you something. Kids model what they see as they grow up. They begin to act and do those things because they think it's okay. But it's not okay. Okay? So some abusers have their own self-problems. They have a dark side. Some of them have been neglected as a child, rejected, abused themselves. Some of them have never experienced true love. I have talked to some people who have never even had a hug from their parents, never had that loving experience that some people may have. But that it is what it is. So, you have to understand both sides of the story. It's not okay for a man to hit a woman. It's not okay for a woman to hit a man and think that that's going to be okay. That's not okay. It's not okay to accept being called out your name or to be talked to crazy or to be controlled by anybody. One thing you have to know, you have to appreciate yourself and ask yourself, am I worth it or should I just continue to stay in this? Me, I tell myself, I deserve to be loved. I deserve better. I deserve to be treated right. I deserve to be, loved on, not to be beat on or to be bruised up or marked up. When I got a beating so bad. I had 2 black eyes, a busted lip, and I had this big old knot that came up on my head. Well, guess what? He left. He had to go. He left and went back to the state where he came from. And guess what? Before the year was out, guess where I was at? I was back with him. And did the beating stop there? No, the beatings got worse. They continued. But because I thought I was so in love with this man and I thought he would change, it did not change. It only got worse. I'm not saying that the person cannot change. But what I am saying, the person has to want to change. Sometimes a person has to go get anger management. Maybe sometimes they need to get in the church. Some of them need to get prayed for. Some of them have to actually talk it out. But they have to go back to what caused them to act that way in the first place. You have to deal with the root of the problem. So I want women on here to know, honey, you are not created to be beat on. God created you to be loved. He created you to be a precious jewel. You are beautiful. You have to know that you're beautiful. Your beauty starts from the inside. And a man can damage that. Vice versa, a woman can damage a man. It happens both ways. And the reason I say this because when I was in a relationship with my daughter's father, my oldest daughter's father, oh my God, he used to do so much stuff to me to the point where I just got tired of it. And I began to hit him. I ran him over hit him with my car. I began to buy bottles of beer to bust him over his head. I began to begin to hit him, bust his nose. I began to do those things. And it wasn't right. It just wasn't right. But what I did to him, I did out of all the pain and all the hell he had taken me through. Did it make it right? No. But